Space Marines. Yes, we all love them. We all collect them. Well, the majority of us love them and the majority of us collect them. Let's just say that most of us in the past have had a Space Marine in our army at one time or the other. And in this video, it's going to be dedicated to the Space Marines because I'm hearing a lot of awesome stuff that's going to be coming for them in terms of rules. Well, this video is kind of going to be split up into two parts. I'm going to do like the kind of rules talk first, which I don't normally do because I actually don't do rule stuff because, to be honest with you, I'm not really interested in the rules, but I am kind of excited about this because it's Space Marines and I'm a big Space Marine player. And the second part of the video is going to be going over rules about the new Desolation troops and the new Brutalis Dreadnought. Now, you may have seen these on some, other channels and stuff like that. I think that has been taken from my stream I did on Monday when we did Member Monday and I went through them all. And then, these channels are like, putting all that information out there, but I didn't put all the information out. I kept some of the good stuff for us over here. So let's jump in and let's get talking about everything. So the big thing that is going to be trying to put Space Marines back into the limelight, that's going to crawl them up that board of being kind of competitive again, making people play Space Marines again, because I don't really watch like the meta watch stuff at all. I always get laughed at because I play Imperial Fist, and Imperial Fist are like the bottom of the Space Marines. Like, you have Space Marines here, and then you have the Imperial Fist here, because they're that bad on the tabletop. But I'll always play them because, I love yellow, and I love the Sons of Dawn. I don't care if we're bottom, that is where the true love comes from. But I am hearing that, all the Space Marine factions, including the Imperial Fist, will be making a countercharge soon on the tabletop, because this month we're going to see the first big patch of love given to Space Marines in terms of point changes. Apparently, Space Marines are going to be getting like this big update. Well, a lot of factions are going to be getting a big update, point changes and everything like that. I've heard Eldar Harlequins, some Tyranid changes, some Custody changes, but mostly I've been hearing about the Space Marine stuff because that's what I'm interested in. And these are supposed to be getting the biggest point changes out of all the factions. They're bringing the points down to make them more competitive, to give you more Space Marines to take in your army lists. For example, I'm hearing like point upgrades weapon upgrades are basically going to be slashed. So like Inceptors, for example, like the plasma guns and stuff like that, points slashed, gone, right? It's just a free upgrade now for your unit to take, which, for a lot of people, plasma on Inceptors may be a really, really good thing. I always go with the bolters anyway, because I'm an Imperial Fist, and more bolters equals more sixes, which in turn equals more DACA for me. But it's just not infantry. I'm hearing tanks, like repulsors, repulse executioners, some of the big equipment for Space Marines are also going to be getting these point drops. One of my main things I love about Warhammer 40,000 is tanks. Like, I've got all the repulsors, I'm buying Land Raiders again, I've got Predators, I've got the Spartan Assault tanks, now it's all in plastic. I love tanks, I love tank combat. I think it's just an awesome thing, putting troops in there, launching them out, tanks blowing other tanks up, it's so cool. But when it comes to Warhammer 40,000 now, when you're looking at it right now, they're just too overly costed, in my opinion, and I can't really make tank armies like I used to anymore, but just because how high the points have gone. So hearing potentially that tanks are being lowered in points again really does excite me, because again, I absolutely love throwing tanks at people. I don't know what you really call these type of updates. Is it like an FAQ update? Is it an army update? I have no idea. Like I said, it's not just Space Marines. It's supposed to be a number of factions that are getting all these big point changes, and it's supposed to be this month. It's supposed to be in January. So if there's any type of foundation to these rumors, we're gonna find out this month, which hopefully is not too far off, like, hopefully it's in the next couple of weeks and not really like dead end of the month, because I know we've got like LVO and stuff coming out, and I'm sure they're going to be focusing on all the big previews that's going to be happening at that event. Anyway, let's push forward and let's talk about some of the new Primaris rules for the Desolation, the Brutalis, etc., and a little bit of a refresh on that upcoming box set. Now, before we jump into these rules, I just want to make everyone aware that these are playtester rules. Apparently, these are playtester rules, right? So the thing with playtester rules is that they change because they're play tested with other people. What's right, what's working, what's broken, what's not broken, etc., etc. So taking these rules as fully factual as like these are the finished product, you should not do that. Okay, I've seen again other people saying that these are the leaked rules. Don't do that, because these are simple playtester rules. They could be the finished product, but I'm just giving you a warning that, of course, from the information that I've been given, that these were playtest rules, so certain things could have changed, certain things could have got better, worse, etc., etc. Now, what I'll do, I'll try and put the information up somewhere on the screen so you can follow along if you want. But the Desolation troops, so these are the I keep saying rocket launchers on the shoulder. These ones have like a smart underslung gun. So this is a 10-man squad. Well, I say 10-man squad. It says 4 to 9 Desolation Marines and 1 sergeant. So it seems it's probably going to be like a base of 5, and then you can have 5 more Marines for more points, as you normally do with like intercessor squads and stuff like that. But you can take a max of 10 in this squad. So 10 underslung rockets all shooting at you. The movement is 6 inches. The weapon skill is 3+. The ballistic skill is 3+. Strength 4, toughness 4. The wounds are 2. Attacks a 2, 3 of course on the sergeant. Leadership is 7, 8 on the sergeant, and the squad has a 3+ save. Now, in terms of keywords, because a lot of people ask me about keywords, these are infantry core, primaris, and Desolation Squad. So they do have that core keyword. If I'm not mistaken, these are a heavy unit as well. Please don't take that. I haven't got that information, but I'm sure I was told at one point that these are going to be a heavy unit. But again, that's just me trying to make something up at this moment in time. In terms of weapons, they have a number of weapons. They have a Castellan launcher, a Super Frag rocket launcher, a Super Crack rocket launcher, and a Vengeance launcher. Now, the Vengeance launcher and the Castellan launcher can both hit targets that are not visible to the enemy. They're both blast, and they can both basically target stuff that are not visible to them. So you can fortify yourself in a house, not hide, and start shooting everything on the board. The Vengeance launcher has a 48-inch range. It's heavy D6, strength 6, AP -1, and damage is 2. The Castellan launcher is 36 inches. It's heavy D3, strength 4. There's no AP on it, and the damage is 1. The Super Frag rocket launcher is 48 inches. That's heavy D3 +3, strength 4, AP -1, damage 1, and the abilities is blast on that. And the Super Crack rocket launcher is heavy 1, strength 8, AP -3, D3 +3. Sorry if I'm not looking at you in the face. I'm reading this information that was sent to me a couple of weeks ago. Now, the other war gear that you can take on this, it says each time the bearer makes a range... Sorry, this is called target optic. So it says each time the bearer makes a range attack with a heavy weapon, add 1 to the attack's hit roll, which, you know, it normally happens, right, with heavy weapons. Actually, no, it doesn't. I'm making things up there. So you get +1 to hit, right, to the hit roll. So that takes it to 2+, if I'm not mistaken. But as people were telling me on the Monday, if you're not visible to the enemy, you add 1 to your hit roll anyway. So it's basically back to the 3+ if you want to be fortifying yourself in a building. Now, for the actual abilities, you get something called Signum, and it says, in your shooting phase, each time this unit shoots, if it contains a Desolation Sergeant, you can select 1 model in this unit. Until the end of that phase, that model has a ballistic skill characteristic of 2+. So it seems like most of your stuff will be firing at 3+, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then 1 chap in your squad can fire at 2+. If I'm reading that right, that's what I'm interpreting that as. Again, hopefully you can help me in the comment section. I'm not really big on the rules. I'm more about collecting, painting, and doing all that type of stuff. Now, moving on to the Brutalis Dreadnought, which, again, I'm super excited to get new dreadnoughts because, again, just like tanks, I love dreadnought. I just love the chunky stuff, right? So to get all these new models seems to be awesome. Hopefully we'll get even more dreadnoughts in the future. Maybe a chaplain dreadnought, maybe even, a librarian dreadnought. How about a tech marine dreadnought? What about an apothecary dreadnought? All the dreadnought options, right? So this one is called apparently the Brutalis dreadnought, and again we'll start with like the stats of it. So the movement apparently is 10 inches, weapon skill is 3+, ballistic skill is 3+, strength is 7, toughness is 7, wounds are 13, attacks 5, leadership 8, and the save is a 3+. It does deteriorate over time. So if you've got 3 to 5 wounds, then it's like movement 8. 4 pluses then for the weapon skill, ballistic skill. If you go down to 1 to 2 wounds, it's like 6-inch movement, and it's like 5 pluses to hit weapon skill, ballistic skill, etc. You get the gist of it, right? In terms of weapon loadouts, this thing actually has a lot of DACO. It has heavy bolters, or I should say heavy bolter. So the heavy bolter, the heavy bolter rules. I don't really have to go over that with you. It has a multi-melter on it, which is multi-melter 24 inches heavy 2. Again, all the heavy. I don't really have to explain this to you. The twin Acarius Iron Hail heavy stubbies it has on there. It has twin auto bolt rifles, which are assault 6, strength 4, AP 0, damage is 1. But the new things on this is the fist. This is like a melee type of dreadnought. It's a big chunky boy, right? Just goes in and wants to like smash you in the face. So it has Brutalis fists, which is, again, melee. Range is melee, type melee. Strength is ×2, which would make it strength 14 because, of course, you're timesing it by 2. AP is -3 and the damage 3 +3. It's basically just like a normal Redemptor power fist, right? If I'm not mistaken. There's nothing new with that. But you can take the Brutalis Talon option. Now, this is new. So this is 2 attacks. It has a strike and a sweep. One is for taking down HQs. One is for basically hordes and stuff like that. So the strike, again, melee. Strength is ×2 on the strike. It's AP -4. It's D3 +3 damage for each one that goes through. And it says each time an attack is made with this weapon, you can re-roll the wound roll. So for each attack for the strike, you can get a free re-roll for the wound. Sweep is the next one. Again, this is more of like the horde clearer and stuff like that. So this states, again, melee. Now the strength for this is user. It's no ×2 or anything like that. So it's strength 7. It's AP -3 and the damage is 1. And the abilities on this is each time an attack is made with this weapon, you can I'm reading the wrong thing here. Sorry, I was re-rolling my old notes. And the ability for this one, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Each time an attack is made with this weapon profile, make 2 hit rolls instead of 1. So what's that? Basically, you get an extra attack with the other if you have 2 fists, right? If I'm not mistaken. So that's 6. So it's on the charge 7, if I'm not mistaken. What's that, like 14 attacks, 12, 13, 14 attacks, something like that. If you're going in with the sweep, again, please correct me. I'm not up to date with the rules. I know I'm an idiot. Why am I doing this video? I don't know. Now, in terms of keywords, Vehicle Core, Dreadnought, Brutalis Dreadnought. Does it have any special abilities? It just has Duty Eternal, which we all know. And, of course, it explodes if it goes up. Now, with the War Gear options, because it has a lot of stuff listed there, it does state that this model's 2 heavy bolters. So you have 2 heavy bolters. I'm thinking that it has 2 bolters per fists. And you can change this around. So the 2 heavy bolters can be replaced with 2 multi-melters. So I think, like I said, you can either have 2 heavy bolters on the fists, or maybe like nipple cannons or something like that. I actually am hoping for melter nipples, because melter nipples are the way to go. Also, this model's 2 Brutalis fists and 2 twin auto bolt rifles can be replaced with the Brutalis Talons. So I'm thinking like the twin bolt rifles are like, again, maybe stuck in the fists of this Brutalis stuff or something, and that's why, you know, you lose them when you put the talons on, and, you know, that's the actual upgrade for that. And just before we end the video, I just want to talk a little bit about the box again. So LVO is incoming at the end of this month. Hopefully this is the show where we get that box set previewed. Of course, with a bunch of other stuff, which hopefully is going to be coming in the future. Maybe, you know, the new Farsight model that got teased, you know, the new Snickrot that got teased, everything like that. Maybe Dante at LVO, maybe that's going to be at Adepticon, maybe Lionel Johnson, Dante, Adepticon, who knows. The reason why I'm saying this is because I'm hearing that this box set is going to be with us within the next couple of months, so I think right now at LVO is probably the best way to preview that, to show it off and get the hype coming for all the new Space Marines. Now, in this box set, again, apparently it is the Desolation Marines, it's the Brutalis Dreadnought. Apparently there's going to be heavy intercessors in there and a new Primaris Lieutenant, because why not, right? The memes. If it does turn out to be a Primaris Lieutenant, I really hope it's in Gravis. I really, 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 really hope we get a Primaris Lieutenant in Gravis armor. I think that's just something we need, right? That we do. We actually do need more special characters in Gravis armor. The big chunky armor, chaplains, librarians, apothecaries, all in the gravy armor. Right. Enough waffling from me. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. As always, if you've got any thoughts, feedback, anything like that, help me out with the rules. Have I got some stuff wrong where I was trying to explain? Help me out down below. You know, I'm not a rule guy at all. I just like, you know, I like playing the game, but, you know, I play the game my own way. That's why I always win. That's why I'm undefeated. Yeah, help me out. Give me all the feedback you can. Post it down below, and we'll have a nice little talk down there as we normally do. See you now. Have a great day, and bye-bye.